Yes, sir. I'm ready too, baby. As always. Look like mine ready. What it do?
Where did I share the link from?
Facebook. Go to the Fishbowl Radio Network.
Okay.
And then you share it from there. What's up? What's up?
1 2 1 2. Okay. Talk that talk.
Yes, sir. What's been going on, man? You get you some rest? No, you didn't.
Bruh, it's been busy, bro. I'm like, it's been busy. I just got hooked up on another contract where it just fell in my lap where they want me to supply staff because we supply staff for our referees for Star and Frisco.
Yeah. So they want you to do concession stuff?
Yeah, they want to supply staffs for that. They know that we staffed other events and stuff. We staff prospects about Sports Illustrated, all that.
Yeah.
So they reached out to us. The guy knows us and like, yeah, man, go on, hook me up with 15 people. So I'm grinding. It was kind of last minute, but I'm like, I'm gonna try to make a jump.
When are they needing them though? Like ASAP?
Yeah, I need them Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Oh, for this weekend?
Yeah, I need them for this weekend. I need them for the rest of the year because they're gonna be doing all the high school playoff games.
Yeah. I know it, man. That's good. You never know who you gonna run into with stuff. Man.
God is good. That's all I can say.
All the time. Man.
All the time.
You know what I'm saying? That's just proof in what you doing, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'd say hard work definitely pays off.
Oh, I already know what you're doing.
Because struggle been real, you know what I'm saying?
Come on, man. Preach to the choir. Hey, I already know. You know what I'm saying? Been there, done that.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Still doing it. Trying to. Got my hands in all kind of things.
Nah, for real.
Trying to make something bust wide open.
Shoot, the Texas thing, you got the Texas thing going.
Yeah, that's a Texas website, Yeah. I shit, right for 3 of them, dog.
Already.
You know what I'm saying?
What I'm talking about, man. We out here on the grind.
Shit.
So I remember the grind back in, what was that, 2018 or 17 or 16?
Yeah.
What was that?
2017.
2017.
I mean, like 2016, 2017, I think that's when, probably 2016, that's when
I think it was 16,
Yeah.
Yeah, West Dallas.
Yeah, shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what it's do that, man. We got to get started, bro.
All right.
Let me see where he is. Yeah, we finna get started, bro. You know what I'm saying? As soon as it hit 11, man, we gotta get cranked.
Now, where's the camera? Because I know that when I watch a show, everybody be talking to you. They don't even be on camera.
Nah, well, the camera's right there if you want to look at it. You know what I'm saying? You can talk to me either way. You know what I'm saying?
Shoot, look, we need to move these tables out the way and put 4 chairs around there, and we good.
For real.
Put a coffee table in the middle.
It's another thing in the back.
What, another studio?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he was telling me, like, shit, I got the 4K and the 5K. And
oh, no, we're not playing with you.
No, I ain't playing no games up here.
Playing no games, dog. It's real. You know what I'm saying? The podcasting thing been going on for a little while.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? We ready to answer.
Ready?
Yeah, he'll just have to pop in when he get here. Okay. I'm ready.
Hey, ready, set, go. It's time to hit the mark. This that show you need to know about. We set ourselves apart. Sports talk at the pinnacle. We got all the knowledge covering every level, helping these young men get to college. Got the coverage of a DB, vision of a QB coming at you like a DN. Let all of that sink in. Working in the weight room, we can't take no days off. Doing drills when they not looking, that's what make us stand out. Don't worry about how much time is left, we got it planned out. Execution, elite footwork, nasty when we running routes. Accuracy off the chain, we've been on it from the start. Reaching for the sky, hitting the bullseye, we on the mark.
What it do? Mark Henry back on the On Your Mark show, powered and sponsored by Epic Sports Apparel. Every player I compete, live from the Fishbowl Radio Network. Listen, got one of my guys in the building. Coach Jay is on his way as well. Listen, we call him Pat Boteezy, Pat Robinson, but listen, he's a major guy in the game, youth sports, as well as one of the top podcasts in the DFW as well. The Dub, shout out to J Mac, Coach Carl, B Rise, and my guy Swaggy as well. You know what I'm saying? One of the top podcasts. They always have me on as a guest from time to time. Listen, been knowing this guy for a little while. Met him through True Buzz. Shout out to Coach Brooks and Coach Moss. His kids were playing ball at that particular time. We're going to talk about that a little bit. But, Pat, what it do, baby?
What's going on? What's cracking? Can y'all hear me out here?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, we appreciate you stopping by and joining us on the On Your Mark show. But let's start out how you kind of got into what you're doing now. I know you played at Duncanville High School. That's well shared. You know what I'm saying? He's a proud Duncanville alum. He always talks about Duncanville as well. But talk about how you got into what you're doing and where you're at now.
Man, as I'm sharing posts and stuff like that, hey, y'all tune in, man. Y'all check it out, man. Let's go.
Let's get it.
So, man, I just and what part of it? Because, you know, I do a lot.
Absolutely. Well, talk about your time at Duncanville a little bit because, you know, Duncanville is one of the best teams in the state religiously for the last, I would say, 5 or 6 years. Start there, and then how you got into youth sports. Let's start there first.
Okay. So the Duncanville years, man, that was that's the high school years. I started out at Roosevelt.
No doubt.
So, you know, went a year and a half to Roosevelt.
You jumped into on the J Mac in a little bit, huh?
Yeah. Oh, look. I mess with J Mac. I'm the original J Mac. I'm the original J Mac. And I told him that or whatever, but he got tagged with it. Sound better as J Mac and P. Robin.
For sure.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
But family moved out to DVille, man. And I ain't going to lie. I went kicking and screaming because back then, and boy, I had to tell my age, but this was in the late 80s, bro. I wanted to go to Kimball.
Right.
I wanted to go. I'm like, I don't want to go to Duncanville. I don't know what's going on out here. You know, I was tripping, bro. But I got there. And the first day of school, they showed me love. You know, girls came sat with me at lunch. So, you know, I was like, okay, I'm cool, and I'm going to stay.
Right.
But the experience at DVille was cool, man. It was football was on a different level there. But, you know, when I left Roosevelt was a top team as well. You know,
Absolutely.
they had, you know, the Webb kids and Robot and Cuckoo, Roy Martin, all them, you know, that was a great era of football. We had my cousin K-Dub, all that came kind of behind me and stuff like that. So, yeah, I left a great era of football over there and then went over to a great era of football at Duncanville because Duncanville had been down at that point. And once we got there, I think we hadn't made the playoffs in years or whatever. Once we got there, bro, we was instantly winning.
Right.
Played with Barry Foster. Shout out Barry Foster. I heard he's a school principal now.
No doubt. That's what's up.
No doubt. Former Pittsburgh Steeler.
Absolutely. Love Barry Foster.
Yes, sir. David Need was the quarterback. He ended up pitching for the Atlanta Braves. You know, we had quite a few great cats out there. You know, had fun there, played running back. Got to wear Barry Foster's number after he left. He wore 3, and then when he left, I wore 3. Yeah. So enjoyed my time at DVille. Always mad love for Duncanville and the program. Actually played the first game in the stadium that they currently play in now. Because we started off at the old grass stadium, and then they opened a new stadium. We was the first ones to play there on that hard AstroTurf that will take all your skin off your body.
Yeah, you know, boys don't know about that. They got the rubber pellets now, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, I'm from Houston, so we got a chance to play in the Astrodome. That was a big thing coming out of high school there. You know, everybody wanted to make it to the Dome, you know what I'm saying? And that was the big thing. So that was the only time we got to practice on AstroTurf to get ready to go practice in the Astrodome. You know, that was big for us back in the Gap.
No doubt.
Big, you know, that's like playing at Texas Stadium for boys up in DFW. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only time we got the chance to experience AstroTurf. And you got turf burns, you know, skinned up knees, elbows. You know what I'm saying? Boys don't know about that these days. You know what I mean?
Call them cherries, boy.
Yeah. Don't take a shower after that. You know what I'm saying? Well, you got to take a shower, but it's
tough.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. Well, definitely, man, I know that you're a proud alum of Duncanville. That's why I brought it up, you know, because you rep them a lot. But, you know, you do a lot of things in the community. Let's talk about the big youth sports league a little bit. That's not your first league, but, you know, talk about how you got to that.
Okay, well, we started off, it was crazy because the actual business that even got us to owning leagues was my referee business. Shout out whistleblowers. Hey, you got it on the jacket right there. Whistleblowers,
Absolutely.
whistleblowers, repping the brand.
Absolutely.
But so I was repping. We used to rep my guy Rashid. I'm gonna shout out my guy Rashid. Had slump music and all that back in the days.
Right.
A musician and all that. That's my boy. He used to do my album covers back when I was rapping because we used to be up under Throwdown Sam from K104. He used to be our manager. So we had a little group out there back then as well. So, me and him always been friends. We've always been tight. He was doing the spring leagues in the mid-2000 teens or whatever. We always refed it, all that type of stuff. And then he decided, hey, man, I'm done with football. I'm retiring, bro. He said, you can have my spring league. I'm like, what? Okay. And this is the funny thing. So shout out Big A from the Dallas Patriots and now with PHU. He came to me a couple of years before that, and he said, hey, bro, he said, everybody mess with you in the city. I like what you're doing with your business, whoop-de-whoop. He said, bro, if you ever own a league, man, we're going to mess with it. And, I'm like, bro, I ain't trying to own no league. Like, this just came out of the blue, bro. Like, I wasn't even thinking about owning no leagues and stuff like that. And then doggone Rashid. Now, it wasn't even, probably was a year before that. And then the next year, Rashid just puts it in my lap like, hey, bro, you can have the league. Here's the website. Here's the this, whoop-de-whoop. It was Texas Select when we first got it. And we worked with the Texas Select brand, blew that thing up because that brand was kind of wavering. We gave it life, but it wasn't our brand. You know what I'm saying? And so if I'm going to do something, I'm going to put my all into it. But if I don't own it, I'm not going to, feel like I need to just keep investing all that energy into something I don't own. I own the Dallas part of the league, but I didn't own the brand.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so, then we graduated to the Big 12 or whatever, and that was brought to me by my homie Greeny. Shout out him, man. And so we put that together and made magic for a couple of years. The first year we actually played at the Star in Frisco. We had teams from Oklahoma in our league, so it was a pretty big league out the gate. And we put on at the Star. It went down. It was a beautiful situation, and everybody knows me. I'm kind of media driven and all that, so I'm always put that extra shine on it and stuff like that and give it recognition. Then we graduated to the Big U Sports League, which is something that me and my brother specifically just own by ourselves. So the Big U Sports League is actually the first time in all the years we've been doing leagues that we actually own the brand outright.
Right.
And that's kind of the point that I always wanted to get to.
Right.
And enjoy doing it. Like Marc got an opportunity to come out and see how we do it.
Absolutely.
Bro, we put on for the city.
Absolutely.
We put on for the city. That thing went the hell off.
Right.
Beautiful. I don't know if you got to see the videos of the media room that's been coming out. Media room was dope. Crowley ISD rolled out the red carpet for us 2 years in a row. So shout out to Greg Williams and his staff. But when we do it, bro, we just don't, some leagues, hey, we just put you in the stadium, here's your trophy, go home, have a night, bro. Nah, we gonna turn up. Like, it's like the Academy Awards or something going on.
Absolutely.
Where we do something.
Right.
And that's just me. That's just my personality.
Right.
Needed.
Right.
Oh, absolutely. And the parents, and if you look in the comments and stuff, the parents really appreciate it. Because sometimes when you're doing this business, you don't feel appreciated.
Absolutely.
No.
Absolutely. I'm going to go into that a little bit because, I appreciate the opportunity to come in there and see that, Coach, I thought, and I told Pat when I first walked in, I've been out of the youth game for a while.
Right.
A lot of my stuff is high school center, maybe, the tail end of middle school. But, coaching, being around that, with my kids coming up, I was in the youth sports for a while.
Right.
So to get a chance to see it, I thought that was big. It was a big extravaganza, you know what I'm saying? And that, I was telling Pat the same thing. Some kids may bottom out and may not even play football. They may switch to another sport, but to get a chance to be on this stage, I had some teams from Wichita Falls, you know what I'm saying, which is a long way, you know what I'm saying, to get a chance to experience that state-of-the-art stadium, maybe only 2 years old, this was big, you know what I'm saying, not just the atmosphere, once the people started to come in, it was great, you know what I'm saying, and I had a chance to go in there and see it full throttle, you know what I'm saying, and it's, shout out to Pat and his staff, your wife was there as well. You got a whole team, and youth sports today is totally different from 10 years ago, you know what I'm saying? And it's a lot that goes into it. And when you're not in it per se. You know, you don't understand the drive, the things that happen to go into it to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Pat, just talk about some of the things behind the scenes that you guys do.
Oh, so yeah, and just to allude to what you just said about, hey, it's different from back then, because I was coaching.
Absolutely.
What was that? I think last time I coached was 2011 or something. So
Right.
I coached 12 years ago. Football was totally different. The atmosphere was different. The attitude was different.
Absolutely.
I mean, after a game, hard fought game, everybody's still gonna come out and shake hands, and the fight didn't come with it.
Right.
Now sometimes the fight come with it.
Right.
So yeah, just behind the scenes, man, just trying to deal with all the stuff that happens behind the scenes, the emotion. Facebook, man, the book has completely changed the game, because
Absolutely.
when in my era, it wasn't no Facebook or whatever. It was just beginning, and everybody wasn't on the book talking noise and doing all that type of stuff like
Right.
that, man. You just was able to coach your game.
And go home.
Go home.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now you got all this extra stuff and drama that's coming to the field because of the book and stuff. Now I would say this: everybody on the book is playing. Excuse me. For the most part, it's fun and games,
Right.
or whatever. But you just got some people that get a little too sensitive and can't take the fun and games and shots like that. Like
Right.
if I lost, I'm gonna take my L. I'm a laugh at myself and the memes they put out and all that type of stuff. I'm gone. Some people can't take that.
Right.
So but just behind the scenes, the planning, I would say, is the biggest thing. Like our season, and I think I said this in one of our press conferences, is the season starts really in January. So everything that happened to get to the point that where you was at the Super Bowl to see everything we did started in January, because we got to get everybody ready for 7-on-7 spring tackle. That's where they decide how we're going to organize our team, figure this thing out. We're in recruiting mode. We're recruiting teams. Teams are recruiting us. We're interviewing teams. Teams are checking us out and stuff, and that's already going on right now for next year. It's even starting earlier, like literally now. But so you got all that going on. You're trying to get through the 7-on-7 season, and then all of the paperwork and background checks and all this stuff you have to do, all the paperwork, make sure everybody's legal, good, all that type of stuff. Schedules, teams coming in at the last minute, teams dropping out at the last minute. Bruh, it is just a whole smorgasbord of work that has to go into having a successful season. And then everybody's still not going to be happy, because some things are going to affect them. You got to fine people. You got to suspend people. You got to do all that type of stuff. And so it is a lot, bruh. And some weeks you just feel stressed the hell out. and I found myself probably mid-October, like, man, I can't wait till the season over. I can't wait till the season. Oh, Lord. The Monday I wake up after the season, I'm just going to be excited. Bruh, the Monday I woke up after the season, I was like, I don't know what to do with myself. We got to do something else.
Right.
So we jumped on the meeting last night, and we're going to do our All-Star game, and I think we're going to do it December the 30th in DeSoto. But I can't, bruh, I'm like, I thought I would be happy. I'm not happy. I need more to do.
Right. Right.
It's in you.
Well, it's a thing where you're 10 toes down with it. Coach, you've ran leagues, you've done this, you've coached, and been in it and still in it. You know what I'm saying? You got a 7-on-7 league coming back up next spring. So, talk about that a little bit, some of your experiences.
Tough, man. It's rewarding. It's a lot of work. Like you said, it's a lot of behind the scenes, planning, trying to make sure, that you have the right pieces, the right people in place, and the experience. People want the bells and whistles. They want the experience. They want to enjoy themselves. And it takes a lot, to pull that stuff off. And like you said, sometimes, the work that you do going in isn't noticed as much as, we would want to, but it's a lot of work. And then when you think about it, for parents, if you remove guys like, that guys in Houston and guys all the way around, that are really trying to build it, what would the kids do?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Especially when at that level, you're trying to put kids in position to further, their playing time and prepare them for for high school. You have your good, your bad. I mean, that's part of life. You know what I'm saying? Just like in college sports, you have your big conferences and you have your smaller conferences. But at the same time, you know, I think it's great to have a variety of different places you can go to. But, you know, it to me, I wouldn't do it any other way. You know, I don't want to do anything else but help develop kids in any capacity dealing with sports. So for me, all the good, the bad, the ugly is worth it.
Absolutely, and it's about the kids.
Absolutely.
In the beginning, you know, it's about development.
Absolutely.
You know, I watched 8 games all day, and you can see the difference as they got older. You know what I'm saying? From the flag to 8U to 7U, which I thought was great. If those kids are starting with flag, if they continue to stay, it'll look like the 12U game. You know, the last game was the Gators from Oak Cliff versus the Dallas Cardinals. You know what I'm saying? And I was looking at that game, you know, from a scout's hat, I can see that some of those guys are going to be very good when they get to high school. The Oak Cliff Gators had some dudes. Then they had a guy, the Cardinals, man, they had him at, I think it was a 99-yard run.
Yes.
At the end.
At the end.
I mean, it was like, what, 10 seconds left, 8 seconds left. You know what I'm saying? And the kid takes it 99 yards. He gets around the end, and then he sprints, and he's gone. And the Gators had some very athletic kids. But just looking at that, you can see what's next up coming from youth sports. And you know, I think that's why I want, you know, we had Pat on today, is I can see the development from your league. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, when we had a chance to talk a little bit off air, you know, I was asking them questions, you know, what kind of players they got and this and that and how they select them and stuff. And you can see it, you know what I'm saying? And that's the purity of youth sports.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And again, the beauty of it is giving them that platform to know what it's going to look like, because most of the time, middle school, there's a little drop off.
Yes.
If they go straight middle school.
Right.
If they do, you know, select where, you know, they should, because it's a lot more competitive, then that's going to help prepare you for those Friday night lights in high school. The biggest thing I try to tell parents in Little League is consistency. You know, don't burn your kids out by overdoing it. Don't make them think that, you know, just because you're a lineman right now, you're going to be a linebacker, you're going to be a quarterback later on. Make them be athletes and let them develop and then hone their skills as they get closer to high school. And the high school coach is basically going to say, hey, this is where we need you. Then you start looking at, you know, honing their skills. But athleticism trumps it all.
Absolutely.
Because, again, positions are going to consistently change depending on what school, depending on what level you go to. So being athletic to me is way more important than saying my kid is a running back in Little League, because he may not be a running back in high school. He may be a linebacker, he may be a safety, you know, or he may be whatever, you know, they choose. But athleticism will put you in multiple conversations of, hey, I need you on the football field. I value you.
Right.
Let me add to that, too, because I think another part, and so we had a media day at the beginning of the season, and Coach Paul from Weibo Nation came out and spoke to
our guy.
Absolutely. He came and spoke to the
Todd,
kids.
Todd came as well.
Yeah, Coach Todd came as well. So Coach Todd came out there. Coach Paul actually spoke to the kids in the auditorium,
right,
in the movie theater or whatever. And the one thing he did that he said that I wholeheartedly agree with, as well as what you're saying about the position, he told them, play another sport.
Absolutely.
It's like, don't be limited. Don't be limited to that one sport or whatever, because a well-rounded athlete, when the college scouts come looking, that's one thing they want to know. That's a piece of information that they actually, you know, ride with.
Right.
I was definitely going to say that, because, I mean, if you know anything about Coast to Coast, we train athletes. We train kids to be athletic, and we want you to play multiple sports because you're utilizing your body in different ways. And we know the recipe is coaches love athletes. They love guys that can play and move in different ways, because, again, you're way more valuable than just, you know, being able to do one set of things. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, it's called position flex.
Right. Absolutely.
That's the beauty of it. So, you know, just parents having to understand, just, again, be consistent. And just because your kid is really good right now does not mean he will be a starter. He will be a 5-star. None of that stuff, because the moment you think I'm good, the work stops. It slows down. You get complacent. You start reading the press clippings, and then you toast because that kid you said was trash on flag. Now he done had a growth spurt,
Right.
And your son looking like,
Yeah.
what happened?
Right.
He faster than me.
Right.
He better than me.
Absolutely.
Because we stopped working.
Right.
So, just consistency.
Yeah.
Right. No matter how good you are, you can maintain that by being consistent.
Absolutely.
And just keeping, the grind, the passion, the want to do it.
Right.
A lot of times our parents force feed us, well, you gonna do it because this is because you're good at it. Mm-hmm. But then you got to pay attention to your kid. Do they really want it? Sometimes they need a break. Sometimes
Absolutely.
you got to ask them, hey, is this really something you want to do?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And it's not that they want to quit, but mentally they just not there. Right. So again, having more sports, having other things to do will always lead them back to where their passion is.
Absolutely.
But if I can't step away from it, I don't even know that I miss it.
Right.
And then it becomes a chore.
Right.
Absolutely.
You get it?
I 100% get it.
Yeah.
I get it because, year-round football is definitely a thing in Texas, not necessarily everywhere else. And even at that, I still prefer – so we're offering more sports to give these kids more a well-rounded experience. We got basketball coming in January. And then we got a campaign called Black to Baseball. We're trying to bring black kids back to baseball. So we're working with a couple of guys that are just baseball heads.
Right.
And we're going to try to implement that in late March, early April.
Absolutely.
Hey, parents, check that out.
Check that out. Yeah, let me know what you do with that. I had my oldest son is a baseball player.
Okay.
That's how he got to college. So, I'm well versed in that. Let me know how we can be a part of it.
Yeah, we definitely want to
definitely want to do that. That's a whole nother show. And that's a big piece that I think that's missing is we had our own Negro leagues. And I talk about these things all the time with people is that we got to get back to that. You know what I'm saying? And when you get to looking at the numbers of black baseball players, especially when you go to the major leagues, it's thin. You know what I mean? Very thin, and it's because they leave
the development.
Right.
The development.
That's
from
one of the
little,
most. That's one of the most difficult
there.
sports.
Yeah.
It is. It's you got to
It's an acquired taste. Is
exactly.
What you got to say. Yeah.
And I'm gonna say this because the Black to Baseball campaign, one of the guys that came to us about this was saying that the World Series a couple of years ago didn't have not one American-born black baseball player in the series.
Right.
You had some Dominicans, but not one American, and that's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, financially, it's a very expensive sport to do. The development for it starts at a very, very early age.
Right.
And the payoff, right? You have to wait a little bit longer. It's not as fast as football. So again, as black people, sometimes of course we live in that microwave society. I want it now.
Right.
I want the payoff right now versus work while I wait.
Right.
Baseball is one of those where
you're
going to have to develop.
You have to work constantly
and wait. For your opportunity, especially because again. Yes, we're athletic, but there are Dominicans. There are so many guys from everywhere else that by the time they put Pampers on, they got a baseball in their hand.
Right.
So they're already ahead of the curve. So that kind of just put us in the narrative where, again, and honestly, a lot of us don't want to train that way for that long. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Where the payoff isn't right now.
Right. And like you said, I think the expense of it is a hindrance. And now that you mentioned the payoff, boy, you got to have the patience of Job.
You got to have it.
Because you're a first-round draft pick, and you still might not hit the major leagues for 3 or 4 years.
Right.
Absolutely.
But then there's also a high failure rate. If you 3 for 10 throughout your career, you're a Hall of Famer. That's a high fail rate for guys we're talking about that really can hit that stick.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's a high failure. I mean, I went through all of this. We played select. We played travel. We played through high school. He's finishing up college there on a baseball scholarship. Those are the type of things, I'm well versed in that. So, I know exactly what it takes to get there. It's a lot of pain and sacrifice.
Different mentality.
Dude.
Different muscles as well.
Yeah.
But but the player has to have a strong mind and work ethic at that because it's a lot of work. You have to touch that bat every day.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? It's not something that you can just pick up and put down. And I think that's what kind of weeds us out. You know what I mean? And then, you know, in the hood, you know, it's different. You know, you pick up a basketball and a football early. Sometimes the baseball bat don't get there. You know what I mean? It also depends on, you know, the areas that you come from.
Absolutely.
Also, what you're exposed
Absolutely.
to. You know what I'm saying? I'll say this before we switch gears. I read something, or I saw it somewhere on a podcast, that if you go to the hood, you see plenty of basketball courts, but the baseball fields look like trash.
Absolutely.
But if you go to the suburban areas, you know, they got
Well kept.
I mean, beautiful baseball fields.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I was in Wisconsin visiting my homegirl that I grew up with, and we're driving, and I see a cornfield, right? And in the middle of that cornfield, I was like, stop, pull the car over. I got to take a picture. You know, a beautiful turf baseball field.
Man.
Beautiful. In the middle of a cornfield. I was like,
Right.
That's a movie right there.
Absolutely.
Like,
Absolutely.
that shows you, you know, and you can drive to any suburb, even in small country towns, because I'm all over the country.
Right.
And the one major thing I see in all of these small towns is a well-manicured baseball stadium.
Absolutely.
Right.
For Little League.
For Little League.
Very well manicured, gated, beautiful. They are putting money into it.
Right.
And you just don't see that where our people congregate.
No, and it's true. You have to look at that. I mean, if you go into any hood and anywhere in the USA, the baseball fields look like trash. And it's because it's not expressed there. But you can go find a great football field or a great basketball field. We just have to, you know, and I think that's a great
Maybe there's
thing.
a hidden message behind that.
Well, that's a bigger that's a bigger fish to fry. But
Yeah,
I'm saying it's the truth because I've been there. You know what I'm saying? And you know, at times we've been the only black family at a baseball game. You know what I'm saying? That didn't deter us, but those are things that you see the older you get. You know what I'm saying? The further you get into it, and that's just it's a fact. You know what I mean?
But the financial payoff of being in the major baseball league is, you know,
guaranteed. There's
man,
they don't have no
that's a different
stuff
type
like
of money.
football.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
no doubt.
money.
No
And
doubt.
the injury thing is less too.
That's
you know what
a
I'm saying?
different type of money.
Right.
The longevity.
The longevity
you know?
of it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And that's a big thing. You know what I'm saying? But let's switch gears a little bit, Pat. You talked about you know, being an official, having the whistleblowers. That's kind of how we met at a True Buzz event years ago. Pat was one of our first interviews at the True Buzz event with Top Texas Prospects. Shout out to my guy Matt Davidson.
Matt
As
Davidson,
well, you know what
shout
I'm
out,
saying?
man.
That's my guy. You know what I'm saying? We still doing it after that long. That's my guy. That's my bro. But the whistleblowers, let's flip the script a little bit. Talk about how you got into that and how that's blossoming as well.
Oh, this is a funny story. So I was coaching my son in basketball, and back then I was probably just like all the Little League coaches now. I was a hothead.
No doubt.
Oh, bro, I was a hothead. And there was a referee named Carl McGivney. They call him, I forgot what his nickname was, maybe Mac or something like that. But he was a known ref in the city and whatever. He reffing everything all over the place. And so he was reffing my son's game. My son, we were playing a team. I think they were in the 7th grade at this point. They were playing like a dang near a 9th grade team. I don't know how the league just screwed up the schedule like this. Had us. So my son, my oldest son, he graduated college, and we'll probably get to that later.
Absolutely.
My oldest son, it was how I want to say that. He was an a-hole at that age. My youngest son, like, you know, he was tough-minded. He was just an a-hole. He was just all that and stuff like that. And that probably works well on the football field. But in the basketball court, he was playing the team. He was the point guard. He didn't want to dribble the ball right. He kept just giving them the ball on turnovers. Bro, I got so mad because I was like, wait a minute. As hard as you act, you gonna get out here and act soft in front of all these people?
Yeah.
Bro, I lost my mind. I pulled him off the court. I cussed him out, and I made him go sit with his mom on the other side of the court in front of everybody. I made sure I did a public display of humiliation on my son because I was so pissed off. And the coach and the ref came to me like, bruh, well, you can't do that, man. You wrong for that. You can't do that. He said, man, every time I do your game, you always got a problem, blah, blah, blah. And I never give it to the refs or whatever, but he always see me just going hard on the kids because I want the best out of them.
Right.
He said, man, take my number, man. I'm going to make your ref. I don't think he thought I was going to take him up on it. Bro, I took him up on it. The very next year that I worked with him, I became a head ref the first year because I was so like I said, everything I do, I'm going 110 on or whatever. I'm not going to do nothing half stepping.
Absolutely.
Bro, I learned the rule books. I did everything I was supposed to do. I became a head ref for him the first year. And then I went ahead and joined the Dallas chapter for a few years. My brother came and joined the Dallas chapter for a few years. And so we kind of broke away. Well, I ain't gonna say broke away. I had another group called Straight Up Dallas Officials that started as an offshoot. They came and pulled me in to work in the front office. They were, I don't know why. I'll just say God, intervention. Like, bro, there was no reason for them to pick me besides maybe my work ethic or whatever to bring me into their front office to help them run Straight Up Dallas Officials. And I was doing the scheduling. I was learning the whole business of scheduling refs and all that with them. And it was 4 of us. Shout out my the Godfather Gene, if you're listening. And so we did that for a few years. I learned the business. Now I kind of was bumping heads with some of the guys that were there that I wasn't matching my work ethic.
Right.
I'm like, wait a minute, how am I working harder than everybody in the company? This ain't my company.
Right.
So at that point, I decided to start Whistleblowers. I just shut it down. Told my brother 2016. I said, bro, not doing this with nobody else no more. I'm helping them make money. Cool. I make a little money off of it. Cool. But I'm working too hard. And so I started Whistleblowers, bro, with $1 and a dream. Didn't know how the hell that was going to turn out. I had a core group of referees that I was scheduling that liked working with me, so they came with me. I was working at Shredded, driving trucks, and one of the guys at Shredded happened to be on the board or something at the IBFA in Irving. And he's like, hey, man, they looking for refs. And bro, that's literally how it started. I talked to IBFA. They gave me the contract. That was our very first contract. And then Texas Sports reached out to me. Shout out to Dana them. And they brought us in the middle of their season. So all this happened in their first season in 2017. And, we were rocking with them for a few years and stuff like that. And that's how it started. But then we wanted to take it to a different level of instead of just refereeing Little League games. And my brother, I call him legal because he always has the legal documents. He always knows what we need to do as far as paperwork. And he is always researching stuff. And it's like, hey, bro, I think we can kind of jump into this high school thing and stuff. I'm like, are you crazy? And Tasso got it sold up. We ain't tripping and all that type of stuff. But, bro, we found out there was actually a lane in there, and it was through TAPS.
Right.
And so we actually did the stuff through TAPS to get certified through TAPS. And now you go on the TAPS website, and we're all over that thing. You can find us, WBSO or Whistleblowers, all over there. Schools call us left and right. We got probably about over 20 schools from the various sports on our roster right now. We do high school football, we do high school volleyball, we do high school soccer, and we just started doing high school baseball last year. And so we are TAP certified. We've done big games. We did a game with Oak Cliff Life when they went out of town to this other spot. In Tyler, they had like 6,000, 7,000 fans that stayed. I'm like, oh, we were doing a little something now.
Right.
So, yeah, so it's been exciting, man. It's been a great journey with Whistleblowers.
Man, definitely. That's that's kind of how we met before, man. And I think that says a lot to you grinded everything. We've been bumping into each other for a while. You know what I'm saying, over the last few years, and you've been elevating every time I see you. You know what I'm saying, and that's the thing about it. And that's kind of the thing we talk about here. What the On Your Mark show is based on grind. You know what I'm saying. Everybody knows me. I'm always doing something somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And it's just that drive, and it takes that to do it. You know what I'm saying? And let's talk about being a ref. We had games on sidelines all the time, and we talk about things as we see them. You know what I'm saying? So to have a ref here, I think it brings another element to the table. You know what I'm saying? Because referees, I think, sometimes they get a bad rap. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes.
All the time. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, until you in that fire, you just don't know.
Right.
It's more difficult than you think. You know what I'm
It
saying?
really is.
I wouldn't want to do it.
Well, I mean, it looks fun, but it's not. You know what I'm saying? I got some friends that ref as well. That I talk to probably week to week, or they always want to know where I'm going. Boom, boom, boom. But being a ref is tough. You know what I'm saying? In all sports, but we see it majority because we're on a football field all the time. They take a lot of heat. You know what I'm saying? So what is the mindset that it takes? And of course, at the game this week, at the Super Bowls, I was in communication with your white hats. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so sitting up there, really paying attention to it. I'm usually on the field doing it. I understand why there's a white hat now. You know what I'm saying? Because I was looking for him because I had to control the clock and all this other kind of stuff. So everything that you do is visual. You know what I mean? You have to know where that white hat is. You know what I'm saying? He wind the clock or he do this. To stop it. They got a penalty to stop it. So all of those things. I knew them, but just being in it is different. You know what I'm saying? Talk about that a little bit.
It is definitely different. Like when we go to the high school games with the dub and stuff, and you're on the sideline sometimes with us.
Right.
I still know a lot of those guys.
Yeah.
So I'm constantly talking. I had one guy at the Red Oak game a couple of weeks ago, bro. He was chopping it up with me more so than I'm like, let you get back to work. But yeah, it's a mentality, and I tell people that we're hire and recruit that. Hey guys, y'all have to let stuff roll off your back, because if you get caught up in the drama that they giving you, in the past I had referees talking about, oh man, I'm pull this shirt off, man. I'm a man at the end of the day. It's going, you can't have that attitude.
Right.
It's really a professional attitude you have to have. You have to let stuff roll off your back. I know people will cuss you and all that type of stuff, and then at the end of the game, oh, man, yeah, bro, man, we good, man. That's just the way I coach, man. I'm intense, man, no harm. You know what I'm saying? And I tell them that's really the case,
right,
because I used to be that high head coach. I literally really never had issues in games I do, because the fact that I was that hot head coach, I actually understand the mentality, and I actually know how to diffuse situations and stuff like that. Refereeing is a skill. So the biggest thing is you're going to get complaints about referees all the time. But I tell people, I say, bro, you got 9 referees on the field in the NFL game. You got 7 on the college and a lot of high school games. And they're making mistakes and left and right. Mm-hmm. They getting paid way more money than a Little League ref. But y'all expect this Little League ref to be better than an NFL ref.
Right.
Like it is a hard job. And I would say the biggest problem, 2 problems on the youth level. 1, should be 4 referees on the field instead of 3.
Well, you had 4 all day.
Yeah, I had 4.
Yeah.
So you need to have 3. During the regular seasons it's 3. You really need to have 4, because now you can catch everything you need to see.
Right.
The other part of it is you're not gonna get a consistent crew. Like when you go to most high school games, they're generally good.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like they don't mess up a lot of stuff because they're working together all year long.
Right.
They know what the other one thinks and what the other one's gonna call and what the feel of the thing. When you scheduling Little League games, bro, you got 3 refs, and they're not going to be consistent throughout the year. Oh, man, it's my birthday. I got to go out of town. Oh, man, I got to babysit my kids. Oh, man, da. So you're never going to get those same 3. We try to schedule the same, because that consistency is really the glue to a good referee crew. Mm-hmm. And now you got to throw Day from over here and John from over here. They don't know each other, or, hey, this one don't really like this one, and you don't know that type of stuff. And so they're not even getting together, getting along as a crew.
Right.
And all that type of stuff. Or they got different opinions on how this should be called versus how the white hat calls it.
Right.
That's why you have to have that consistency in these crews together. It's a tough job. It's a tough business. You rarely gonna get any love in it, so hell, we don't even look for it.
Right.
We don't even look for it, man. But if you get a pat on the back, or attaboy every now and then, we post it, and it's cool. But it's a hard. It's not for the faint of heart.
No. I mean, at the speed of the game, especially at the high school level, come this time of year, I think the regular season has a different speed.
Right.
And the playoffs is a way different speed.
Right.
And usually those guys, the discipline. The consistency as well. Yeah. Usually those top guys, I go to state just about every year. You see those guys, it's usually the same crew.
Same.
Absolutely.
And when you get to that high level, it's real compact. Everything is tight. And they move, they move just like the guys on the field. It's amazing to get a chance to see it live like that. But, week to week, we're on the field, on the sideline. You notice how these guys move, you know what I'm saying? And they move as a crew. They move as family, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
They move just like the offensive line or defensive line. They work together. They got hand signals. They got everything, you know what I'm saying? And, over the years, I would say the last 8 years that I've been, in the high school game, I see that, you know what I'm saying? It's a well-oiled machine.
Exactly.
And you have to have an appreciation for it. from the stands or not in it, you really don't get that feel. You know, it's he made a bad call. He's horrible. These refs suck. It's a lot that goes into it. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, there's a lot that goes into it.
Only way to find out is to actually do it.
Right.
Or be in the building down
On
that
the field
level
right.
on the field. And it's so many moving pieces.
Right.
It's easy to sit in the stands. You know, it's just like coaching.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's easy to coach from the stands.
Absolutely.
Because you're seeing it after the fact.
Right.
And let me say this: the other part of the problem with all the complaining is that you have a lot of coaches and fans that don't know the rules.
Absolutely.
As far as, you know, they're mixing NFL rules with the college high school rules and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
You have different set of rules, and the way that you enforce penalties are different from sport to sport. You play Madden, you can't play Madden and go and then, hey, well, man, you supposed to do. Man, we hear coaches butchering rules all the time, and we laugh about it and stuff like that. But really, I would love to train the coaches. Hey, y'all, and I tell coaches all the time, like, God, hey, you feel like you can do better, you come out here and learn it. I will teach you. Some of our best referees are ex-coaches.
Right. Yeah.
Some of our best referees are
Right.
ex-coaches.
Absolutely.
I was an ex-coach.
Right. Yeah, well, I mean, I've known coaches like, got middle school coaches that are refs at the high school level. You know what I'm saying?
Look, check this out. I actually have multiple high school varsity coaches that ref for me.
I know.
Yeah,
That's
so
why I brought it up.
yeah, so
Yeah, I mean, I think it's twofold, but they understand the game at a different level as
Absolutely.
well. You know what I'm saying? And you have to understand the game. You can't be no dummy. It's not like these guys just walk in off the street and put on, some stripes and they just out there. You know what I'm saying? And I think people that are not really into it don't understand that part. You know what I'm saying? Just the casual person, not guys that are really into the game. I know some guys out there that really understand the game, but the casual person may not understand what goes into being a ref.
Yeah,
you know
and you're gonna have some really good coaches, some coaches that really don't take it serious, that don't study, that don't know the rules. That's just kind of out there. Same thing with the refs. You're gonna have some really, really great refs. You're gonna have some that just kind of there. You know what I'm saying? Just to get paid or whatever. But that's a part of life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's never gonna be a perfect situation. The key is, give grace to the guys that are actively trying to change it and make it better. Because what you see now, and what a lot of parents don't realize, there is a major drop-off in referees because
Big
of
time.
the abuse.
Right.
Big time.
They're quitting left and right. So if we don't have refs, what do you have?
Right. You don't have a game.
Because
game.
you're treating them like, they're
Second-class
trash.
citizens.
Absolutely, and wanting to fight them and all of that. So there is no game without the refs. Right. And then what are you going to do? Put your son or daughter, or you going to do it as a parent?
Right.
And then now we're one-dimensional because you're only looking at your kid.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
You know what I'm saying? It takes skill, especially being a ref that has kids that they know, or their own kid playing the same game, and you have to be non-objective, non-biased to everything that's going on. That stuff takes a lot of skill.
Well, that's not allowed.
To give them grace.
That's not allowed.
Yeah.
Well, it happens in certain places.
Yeah. Well, that's a big
Thank
pet
God,
peeve.
though, it's not allowed.
Yeah, that's a big pet peeve.
That's one thing with me. If a ref if I find out, hey, you got to go to another field.
Absolutely.
So you could be non-biased.
Yeah, and we make them go to another league. Like, hey, if you got a son, cousin, nephew, anybody that's in this league, you can't ref this league. You can go ref over here. Yeah.
That's even better. So parents, understand when you guys are looking for, leagues and teams to play in, that there is a huge part of integrity that goes along with that. It's, again, how do you develop from the ground up, right?
Absolutely.
How do I put my kid in a position to, number one, understand and respect the sport? Right. For me to last in the sport, I have to understand it. Then I have to respect it, and respect everybody that's around me. So going to different places where your kid is going to learn that integrity part is crucial to their overall growth.
Well, I know that it's all about development in everything you do.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And
Absolutely.
It takes a trained eye. Those things are happening so fast. You know what I'm saying? And they have to make split-second decisions. And then you also have to include the human element. There's things that are going to be missed. You know what I'm saying? But the heat of the moment,
life.
The bullets are flying. it's like they say, you know, in the coaching field, in the coaching realm. Don't let the refs don't put it in their decision. Make the plays.
I love that.
You know
I
what I'm
love
saying?
when coaches say that.
Yeah. It puts the onus back on the players and the coaches. You know what I'm saying? To make the right play at the right time. Don't leave it in the refs' hands. Then it won't be a call that you miss.
And the one thing about it is, just like coaching, you can't blame one play. You can't blame one bad call.
Right.
You can't, because there's a series of all of them.
Right.
And then if you go back to the very beginning, that first play, that 10th play, that 11th play, that 100th play is going to make a difference, win or lose. Now, one call can change the trajectory of the game, but what did you do before that? And then how do you adjust?
Right.
Because if you're a real coach, you understand that mistakes are a part of the game.
Right.
Whether it's kid dropping the ball.
Absolutely.
You know, will you change the whole trajectory of the game? No.
Right.
Just the play calling, right? And everything that's going on is changing it. But how do you adjust? Right. Do you adjust?
Right.
When bad things happen, don't stay down on that one bad call or that one bad play. Hey, let's shake that off. Like you said, have thick skin.
Right.
Let it roll off my back and adjust.
Absolutely.
Right. Let's stay ahead of the game.
Right.
So that's important.
Well, we got a couple of minutes left before we get out of here. Got to talk about the dub. You guys are real good at what you do. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the dub. Shout out to everybody that watches it. It's a weekly podcast on Wednesdays and Sundays. Sundays, it's not for the faint of heart. They do the regular stuff on Wednesdays. You know what I'm saying? Hey, don't come to Sundays tripping, because you will get, you know what I'm saying?
Dealt with.
You know what I'm saying? The Sundays is fire, you know what I'm saying? But Wednesday's a little more low key. But Sunday, you know, they get after it a little bit more controversial, if you would say. Talk about how you guys got before we get out of here. The dub started. I kind of knew each one of y'all individually a little bit. Saw Swaggy a lot more. I'm familiar with Coach Carl because he played in Michigan in his football career. But a football mind, I love to hear him talk. You know, I can listen to him talk about ball for hours. You know, we stayed on there one night. One Sunday, we stayed on there about 5 or 6 hours. Me, him, J Mac. I think Coach Ward was on there briefly for a little bit. We stayed on there a long time just talking about stuff. And this was in the off season. You know what I'm saying? Not even during the season. It was probably sometime in the summer. But talk about the dub a little bit before we get out of here.
Hey, shout out to the dub, man. My dub teammates and stuff. Dub, salute. Man, it was just an idea that sparked a couple of years ago, and I was talking to J-Mac because I was always in the group, and I'm one of the ones that's not going to do a lot of commenting because, you know, it get wild up in there.
It get wild.
It get wild up in there, and I love the Lord, so I don't want to have to keep repenting every night.
I love it.
It be live in 5. You know
it be, and people getting their feelings a lot in that group and stuff like that. But I was telling them, I was like, bro, we need to drop a podcast.
Right.
And see, and J-Mac used to coach my son in basketball years ago or whatever. I forgot what the team was called, but he used to coach him. So I knew him from back when he was coaching my son, years ago. And so, you know, I always followed him and everything he did and stuff like that. And so I told him, he's like, man, nah, you know, I guess he thought I was playing, and he thought I was and stuff, and I just kept harassing him like, bro, we got to do this, because I've been doing podcasts.
Right. So,
you know, I've done multiple podcasts for the youth league and stuff.
Right.
And so we did a test run, and I had picked some of the people. He picked some of the people that he wanted. It was some people that got picked that never called, so they got left off for Bad and Bougie.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I bet they want to get back in.
Possibly, you know what I'm saying? Possibly. But so yeah, we dropped the test episode. It was dope. The cool thing about me, just in the fact that I've been involved in sports for so many years, is I know a lot of people. Like my Rolodex, and I was telling them my Rolodex is crazy. I got coaches from coast to coast. I got most of the high school coaches that are popular in my phone already, and stuff like that. So reached out, got Coach Mathis on as the first guest. He agreed to it. Yeah. Coach Todd as the second guest. I think Coach Bam as the third. No, Coach Bam was on the first show. I forgot who we got the third. The only one we ain't been able to get is samples.
Well, Mathis was first.
Mathis was first, and Bam. I think it was Mathis and Bam.
Yeah, Bam had just got the Kimball job. Not too long after that.
And then Todd.
Todd is a regular.
Todd is a regular. He's a reoccurring guest.
Yeah, no doubt.
he loved that heat, boy.
Yeah.
He lived for that.
The thing about Coach Todd is he's authentic, and that's the thing that, you know, people in his profession respect about him. You know what I'm saying? He don't pull no punches. But, analytically up here, he got it going on too. You know
Oh, he's a computer. I told him he's a computer brain.
And history buff. I've watched him talk about it. You know what I'm
saying?
Love it. You know what I'm saying? That's, I'm an enthusiast when it comes to ball. And those type of things I love. You know what I'm saying? And
I love the history too.
I love that too. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to get him on probably when they get through playing, though, because we talked about it every time I see him. But the thing I like about the Dub is that you guys – you know football, first of all. You know what I'm saying? We have long conversations about ball on the sidelines from week to week. And then you guys are authentic in what you do as far as what you're trying to cover. You guys are all about the exposure to these athletes.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the big thing about it. And then in this podcast world, it's not about, from my perspective, from coach's perspective, it's not about the competition. We're just trying to make each other better.
That's
you know
it.
what I'm saying? And that's one thing. Follow the league DFW. That's one thing we bring to the table. We come in with that as well.
Let's go.
Yeah. I already talked to you about it. You
Yes,
know what I'm
sir.
saying? So I talked to you and J Mac and Swaggy and a couple of more guys about it. We putting it together, man. Follow the league DFW. We're doing some big things with it. But, I think that you have to have more things like that because, here's the thing. Here's the example. If you shut down everything that we do, guys like Juwan, Jeter, the Dub. If we just go dead, we go zero dark 30 for 3 weeks. Where's the exposure that these kids that don't get outside of the major things off of TV and stuff like that? Some of these guys don't get talked about. It's non-existent.
No doubt. And then especially for our community. And so I think the other part of the Dub that I love is the fact that we actually give coaches exposure.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like there are going to be coaches that get coaching jobs because of the exposure that they had, in part to the Dub or whatever. Coaches now seeing everybody. And I had coaches tell me this behind the scenes. So we love that.
Man, well, we appreciate you joining us today.
Definitely.
Tell everybody where they can find you at on social medias. Check out the Dub as well.
Okay, before I do that, hey, I'm gonna give y'all a little parting gift, man. I need to give y'all one of my,
man,
league
appreciate
rings
it.
and stuff.
Appreciate it. We're going to rock it, too.
Hey, rock that thing.
There it is.
But y'all can find us on the Dub. We're on YouTube on the Dub High School, and we need 1,000 followers, man. Y'all help us.
Let's get that.
Help us get monetized on that thing because we do a lot of work. We spend a lot of our own money doing this thing. We want to get monetized on that thing. We're on Facebook. We have our own Facebook page now, the Dub High School Sports. So we're in the Texas Youth and High School Sports Group, but now we have the Dub High School Sports, which is growing by the day. That's growing quicker than the YouTube, amazingly enough.
Absolutely.
So, catch us there. If you want to join our football league, bigyouthInfo@gmail.com, BIGINFO, bigyouthInfo@gmail.com. We're taking teams right now for basketball and spring 7-on-7 and all that type of stuff. So we're excited. Shout out to my Dub teammates.
Absolutely, man. Listen, we appreciate Pat Boteezy for joining us here. We'll be back next week right here from the Fishbowl Radio Network. Listen, go to the fishbowlradionetwork.com. Click Sharky Awards. Listen, we're trying to be the number one. We're trying to win them all. You know what I'm saying? Vote for me as your favorite host. New show, the On Your Mark Show, and show of the year, the On Your Mark Show. Tap in. We'll be at you next week. Shout out to my guy, Maynard Mike, as he takes us out on IG.
Dub salute.
Hey, ready, set, go. It's time to hit the mark. This that show you need to know about. We set ourselves apart. Sports talk at the pinnacle. We got all the knowledge, covering every level, helping these young men get to college. Got the coverage of a DB, vision of a QB coming at you like a DN. Let all of that sink in. Working in the weight room, we can't take no days off. Doing drills when they not looking, that's what make us stand out. Don't worry about how much time is left, we got it planned out. Execution, elite footwork, nasty when we running routes. Accuracy off the chain, we've been on it from the start. Reaching for the sky, hitting the bullseye, we on the mark.